Hi guys, my name is Bobby and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my May TBR. So for the month of May, I have decided that I am not going to read a Richard Lehman book this month. I just placed a big order on Thrift Books and I ordered all of the titles that I'm currently missing because a lot of them got lost or I loaned them to people and never got them back. And I feel that it's easier to read his books in physical form. I've tried reading them through Kindle and they're okay and I can read them, but I don't feel as compelled to pick them up. And I love his books and I love his stories, even though they're full of gore and like rape and all that stuff that makes it horror. But I find it easier for me to read and I feel more compelled to pick it up if I have the physical copy in my hand. So I just placed a big order on Thrift Books. It'll be here sometime, so I'm just going to take a break until I get those books. And I found a couple that weren't on Kindle that I had skipped that were earlier, so I'll eventually get to those as well. So I'm not going to read Richard Lehman this month. I don't have a buddy read this month so far, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one of the books from my 5-star predictions and read that. And then I'm going to pull like 4 books from the TBR jar and then go from there. So the book that I'm going to read off my 5-star predictions is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I figure this is probably a safe bet. It's not nearly as big as The Nightingale was. And all I've heard is great things about this. People who have read it have absolutely loved it that I know. So this will be the first one that I want to read in May. And next, let's do the TBR jar. So I added the stuff that I hauled in there as well. So there's quite a few. I'm a little nervous. Again, if I pull a sequel and I've not read the first one, then I will be reading the first one instead and put the sequel back. I think I'm going to allow myself a save every month. If, I don't get to it or don't feel compelled to pick it up. And anything over the one that I don't read, it's an unhaul because obviously I didn't want to read it that bad to begin with. So, let's see. First pick is going to be this one. And I pulled out American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I'll insert a picture here. American Gods is on my Kindle. So I have read about half of that book before and put it down. Maybe I'll look to see if I can find a physical copy of it to see if that makes it easier for me to read. I loved his writing. I love what he did with the different gods and bringing in the gods from all over. I find it really fascinating. I put it down. So I will finish it this month. So let's pick another one. Okay, this one. Wait, this one. Alright. Oh, this one's been sitting on my TBR for a while. Jane Unlimited. Let me grab it. Okay, here's Jane Unlimited by Christian Kishore. I'm sure it's super reflective. A couple people have read. She wrote the Graceling series, which is a YA. I don't remember. I think this is considered YA if I remember right. Ooh, I still have a bookmark in it. I started it at one point. This is a story about a woman who is now in college. She's like college age, and her aunt was her mother or raised her, and she had told her if she ever has a chance to go to this certain house to go, and it's this estate that is owned by a man, and his daughter or niece or something like that has been friends with the main character, and she's kind of adrift and doesn't know what she wants to do. So this friend invites her to come to this estate, and so she goes. I know there's a female-female romance in here, and the unique thing about this book is that it's told, I think, in 4 or 5 parts, and each part is a different genre. So it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure to a degree. So this, she gets this choice of how, if she were to choose this is how her life would go. If she were to choose to do this is how her life would go, kind of deal. And I believe there's a contemporary, there's a horror, there's a western, there's a sci-fi. So it's kind of a whole bunch of different genres into one. I had barely started reading it, and then I just kind of set it down. So we'll give it a shot. Just the premise is interesting, having the different genres. It's interesting, but at the same time, I'm kind of is that going to be really distracting? So we'll see. So that was 2. Let me pick, I think 2 more, maybe 3 more. We'll see how I'm feeling. I had a pretty good reading month in April. I was pretty motivated, so we'll see. I'm going to pick this one right here. Okay, what is this one? fuck, this one's huge. Children of Time. Give me a sec. This is a chunker. This is Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the only person I've seen who, this is a sci-fi, and the only person I've seen read it is Emily over Books with Emily Fox. This was one of the last, I think this was the last book that I got in my last adult bookie box. This is, it says, the last remnants of the human race left a dying Earth, desperate to find a new home. Following their ancestors' star maps, they discovered the greatest treasure of the past age, a world terraformed and prepared for human life. But all is not right in this new Eden. The planet is not waiting for them. Pristine and unoccupied, new monsters have turned it from a refuge into mankind's worst nightmare. Now two civilizations are on a collision course and must fight to survive. As the fate of humanity hangs in the balance, who are the true heirs of this new Earth? From what Emily had said, she absolutely loved it. Breezed right through it. And she said that the monsters are like these giant spider creatures. I fucking hate spiders. They're like one of my biggest phobias. So we'll see how this goes. The writing is pretty decently sized. She said it was really easy to read, but I mean, this thing is ginormous. Like, 600 pages exactly. So if I start this one and don't finish it, I'll carry it over. I'm going to try really hard to focus and, like, you know, get through some of these big ones that I pull. But I was wondering when this would pop up because it's a chunker. So Children of Time, we'll give it a shot in May. God, they're all like decent size too. Okay, I'm going to pick two more, I think. And we'll see how that goes. Let's see. And this one. Something small. Ah! Another Kristen Hanna, Winter Garden. Give me a sec. Okay, here's Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. This is kind of the same vein as The Nightingale, only from like a Russian perspective. It's kind of the vibe I get from its two daughters whose mom is dying, I think, and they haven't gotten along in a while, and they don't really have a good relationship with their mother, and they come together, and their mom tells them a story of how her in wartime, World War II in Russia, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Leningrad, 1941 Leningrad, and then in 2000, so it jumps between two perspectives. Very similar to The Nightingale, only it's about half the size. It's like only 300 or 400, oh yeah, almost 400 pages. But I've heard good things about this one. A lot of people who love The Nightingale read either The Great Alone and then this one just to, you know, because they're kind of the same vein. So that's pretty exciting. I'm not sure about 2 Kristen Hanna books in a month. I don't really like doubling up on authors, but I enjoy her writing, so we'll give this one a shot. Okay, and I'll pull one more because already looking at that is giving me anxiety. So let's see, we'll pull one more. I need to get these damn books read. All right. White Queen. Do I even have that? Oh, yeah, I do. It's right here. Okay, so yeah, I pulled the White Queen, so I do have it. It's right here. It's Philippa Gregory. I've had this one for a long time. This is the book that the White Queen series on Stars is based off of. Story of Elizabeth Woodville. I think this is the book 1. I apologize for the loud noise. They're putting new siding on my apartment building, so it's very loud and my cats are freaking the fuck out. I worked a graveyard last night. Thank God I decided to film instead of sleep because I would think the sky was falling. So I believe this is book 1. So this is obviously historical fiction. Yeah, I think this is the first one. There's Lady of the Rivers, The Red Queen, and The Kingmaker's Daughter. I've read Philippa Gregory before, but it was years ago, like when I was in high school. And she, like, I don't mind her writing, but it's very slow. And I've had this one for a long time, but it's kind of short for her. But I do love the medieval historical fiction. So this is going on the TBR. Okay, guys. So here is my May TBR, which is kind of daunting, and add American Gods on top of that. Granted, American Gods I'm halfway through, so, you know, I'll probably just do a little skim reading and pick up where I left off and finish that one. Again, no Richard Lehman this month, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable. And then it'll give me some time to mood read. So we got contemporary. who the fuck knows what this is, because it's just a mix science fiction and other contemporary and historical fiction. So no thrillers or horror, so I might pick something up like that through the month and see how that goes. But yeah, this is even though it's not that big of a TBR, it's rather ambitious. But I feel I did last month. Last month I survived, so I believe I can survive this one. We'll see. Because, you know, maybe I'll end up with a shit reading month, because that happens. I usually have a good one than a shit one. Okay, guys, that's it. That is my May TBR. Please let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books. Which ones should I prioritize? Which ones are you more excited to see me read? I'm actually kind of excited this month. I kind of like the picks. They're kind of all over the place. But anyways, like and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.